good morning. Welcome into ARC Southeast Texas. It is 10 o'clock on a very pink Wednesday we got going on here.
I know, the cameras, they're lying.
Well,
so we
about
were,
my dress.
She looks like she's wearing red. She's wearing pink. Mine maybe isn't so much to lie, but the earrings is the whole thing. Like I really tried to my pink dress just wasn't cutting it this
It's
morning.
all right.
So
It's all right.
But we wanted to wear pink because it is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. We're going to be talking to Gift of Life later on in the show about their ribbon run, which is a really cool event.
Lots of fun every year. It's going to be on Saturday. So we'll talk about that and how you can get signed up and just a lot of stuff, the things that the Gift of Life does to kind of give back to the community and help folks, not just this month, but really every month. But they do a lot this month. No doubt about that. So, yeah, very busy day today. We had so many people at 8 o'clock too.
Yes. So between 8 and 10 o'clock, I have 7 web stories to work on, meaning that there's 7 different events going on. I think it's just between this weekend alone. There's so much to do, which it's festival season. So of course we have Creekwood Farms. They're gonna have their big fall fest. We've got Port Arthur Fall Fest this weekend that we talked to yesterday. Lots of museum, ghost tours, things of that nature. So a lot of things to do.
Yeah,
there's no excuse.
Yeah, and beyond, of course, the events going on this weekend or even just this week, there is still plenty of local news going on. So do want to get you a look at some of those headlines for you this morning. Of course, early voting we know is underway. Now, day 3, we're going to have a look at some of the early voting numbers across Southeast Texas. A good show of support so far.
And of course, when it comes to early voting, we got a lot of big items on the ballot to be looking for, and this includes an important issue in Lumberton.
Plus, the city of Beaumont and Beaumont ISD leaders are discussing juvenile crime and how the city can help through mentorship programs. So, as we mentioned, lots to cover, and early voting is a big one going on right now, and the numbers are incredible so far.
I know. Somebody was saying this may be, the biggest turnout in several years. So
wouldn't doubt it.
We'll see. But so an average of about 1,000 voters every hour. That's crazy. Pouring into Jefferson County polling places, Jefferson County alone.
Yeah. Election judges say they have no reason to expect a slowdown with so much interest in the presidential race. Of course, other big matchups down the ballot as well locally. We checked with the Jefferson County Clerk's office and learned nearly 20,000 people have already cast their ballots through the first 2 days of early voting. And then in Orange County, the numbers add up to slightly more than 7,000. We haven't received new figures from Hardin County, but through day 1, that's a little more than 3,300 people there have already voted early.
Rogers Park drawing the largest number of voters so far. This site, the Theodore Johns Library on Finette Road in Beaumont, also a popular polling spot. Early voting continues through November 1st. The general election is, of course, Tuesday, November 5th. We've posted a list of early voting locations and times available on our website, kfdm.com and fox4beaumont.com.
Yeah, so be sure to get out and exercise that right to vote, as so many folks already have. I think Election Day might be a little quiet. Everyone's doing it early.
I know. And, we were talking the other day about early voting as compared to what to expect on the actual day. And I'll always vote on just Election Day.
Yeah.
And I've never had to wait in line. It's always super quick.
Yeah,
literally within minutes.
Yeah.
So you walk in, walk out.
It's always a simple process, no matter what day you do it. So it's no excuses.
Right. And it's going to be especially quiet Election Day because apparently everyone is early voting.
I would think so. And on that ballot, of course, voters in Lumberton may notice a special issue on their ballots, but the vote is only up to a very small number. Propositions A and B on the ballots for precincts 6, 17, and 19 will determine if the Longleaf subdivision off FM 421 in Lumberton will be approved for a $472 million bond. The bond will be a refund for the developer that is fronting money for the infrastructure in the development. Now, because it is a defined area bond, the issue may show up on the ballots for the multiple districts that the development is in, but the votes will only count for those that live inside the development or defined area, which is about 1 person. Now, if the bond does not pass, development in the subdivision will stop. The bond will be paid off in phases over 30 years.
Action being taken to protect grass and property in southeast Texas. Dangerous dry temperatures and high wildfire danger, prompting 2 county judges to extend burn bans. Yesterday, Hardin County Judge Wayne McDaniel continued the ban for another month. Last week, Jefferson County Judge Jeff Brannick extended the ban for 3 more months. You may have noticed the signs. This one from Orange County, firefighters working to reduce the chances of a wildfire breaking out.
Of course, yeah, top of mind with a little rain expected in the forecast, so just be extra cautious as you are out. Well, the city of Beaumont and Beaumont ISD leaders are taking up a hot topic last night, juvenile justice.
Mayor Roy West sharing what he's learned with the school district. The mayor talked about the revision program housed at First United Methodist Church in downtown Beaumont. It's where volunteers can gather and mentor at-risk youth. The mayor, along with other city and county leaders, visited the Harris County Juvenile Detention Center, where the program is a success. The ISD board member Joe Evans was recently named the director of Revision Beaumont. Mayor West credits Regina Rogers with setting up the Harris County tour and securing the federal funding to get the program started here.
Yeah, a great program that certainly has taken off. So, Well, Port Arthur police need your help to identify a porch pirate. His crime caught on camera. Theft happened on October 8th at a home on 7th Avenue and 41st Street. The suspect, who can be seen smoking a cigarette, walks up, grabs the package, and then takes off. If you know who he is, you are asked to call Crime Stoppers. Of course, that number is 833-TIPS.
Just another example there of cameras.
Yeah, we got to be careful. And now's the time where they're so useful too, because people are starting to order for Christmas presents and yeah, lots of packages going to be dropped off.
I never order anything that's really of any value, especially to anybody else. So I always wonder, what's going through their mind when they're doing that, because when it's Amazon, it's like, I order trash bags off of Amazon.
Yeah.
So
they're not getting much if they're stealing from you.
Right. So
I guess you never know.
And I'm sure this guy, when he opened up that package, may have been a little disappointed, because I imagine it's something as simple as trash bags. But anyways,
you never know.
Crime Stoppers, nonetheless, 833-TIPS. So.
Well, the Texas Rangers are conducting an investigation after an inmate died in a Southeast Texas jail. It happened Saturday at the Polk County Jail in Livingston. Sheriff Byron Lyon says an autopsy shows the death was the result of natural causes. He also says the man did not inform jail staff that he had any health conditions. His name is not being released until relatives are notified. Well, we're getting a new look into a deadly helicopter crash near downtown Houston that left 4 dead, including a child. This is surveillance footage of the crash Sunday night, a radio tower collapsing to the ground, hit by a helicopter. Investigators say the aircraft was operating as an air tour flight when it slammed into the structure. According to the FAA, the tower's lights were reported inoperable last Wednesday. And this is the scene from yesterday. Members from the NTSB examining the wreckage and reviewing the pilot's records to figure out what led up to the crash. Today, investigators will visit the Air Tour company to learn more about their operations. Well, it's an unsolved 6-year-old crime that still haunts the Jasper County Sheriff, a 22-year-old killed in cold blood. Here's the latest on the investigation into the murder of Christopher Spikes.
This is all the stuff we sent to the lab.
Hundreds of documents outlining every single detail of an active murder investigation, every lead followed. But Jasper County detectives find themselves in a familiar predicament many cases encounter.
There are so many people that do know the answer and that won't come forward.
It's here in a wooded area on High Truett Road, December 7th, 2018. The body of Christopher Spikes was found. The 22-year-old had a gunshot wound to his head. Sheriff Mitchell Newman says Spikes was dropped off at a trailer park at the end of the road. That was the last time he was seen alive.
We have had them in for questioning. Everybody that was in the house at the end of the road, everybody was at the house next to the road. Everybody is kin to each other up there. They're a close-knit bunch or kin. They won't talk. They won't help us.
Newman says an argument broke out before Spikes was shot at close range. The stormy weather that night dampening any chances of finding good evidence.
We took everything. We sent it off and all come back inconclusive.
KFDM Fox 4 has previously spoken with Spikes' family.
I want my son to rest in peace. I don't think he's resting.
2 people have been arrested on charges related to the murder, but not the murder itself. One person remains in jail. Sheriff Newman says several agencies have exhausted every lead. He's even reached out to the Texas Rangers, but he says it's going to take someone coming forward to solve the killing.
I know that I'm sure the family thinks that we have forgot about it and that it's something that's on the back burner, but it's not. It's not on the back burner. We're investigating Chris's case just like we would if it was one of our kids.
Sheriff Newman says Chris's murder weighs heavy on his heart. He hopes to have answers for the family before retiring at the end of the year. In Jasper, I'm Jade Morrow reporting.
And of course, this is just one of many unsolved cases that Fox 4 is spotlighting through our partnership with Crime Stoppers of Southeast Texas. If you have any information about this case, you are asked to call Crime Stoppers. That number is 833-TIPS. Tips are always anonymous, and you may be eligible for a cash reward. But yeah, certainly a good program that we're working with Crime Stoppers and trying to highlight some of those cases that sometimes not necessarily get forgotten by police, but just get forgotten overall.
And this is, so there has been some pretty crazy crime in Jasper County over the years, but the current sheriff who is there, he's going to be retiring at the end of the year. And he said this is, he's promised the family, he's promised Christopher Sparks' grandparents that this case would be solved. He said the amount of people that know what happened, like 7 or 8 people.
Wow.
And so there have been arrests, like what was said in the story. One of them is still in jail, and the other was accidentally released, but is in a Colorado jail on other charges. But these charges that they have involving in this crime is obviously not for murder, but they're still pretty heavy charges.
Yeah.
So he says it's definitely solvable. The evidence was a big issue. They thought maybe that would be their key. But that night, he said it was raining cats and dogs. The weather couldn't have been worse. And there's no telling how long he had been out there. So evidence was kind of a bust in the situation, unfortunately. So he is hoping that somebody, it weighs heavy on their conscience will come forward, which is a similar situation in many cases like this. People do know, they just have to say something. And again, Crime Stoppers is going to be a really excellent tool in this situation. That person, could be directly involved and send in a tip. It's going to be anonymous. Nobody would ever know. So, but certainly sad nonetheless. And hopefully, the family can get justice because of past reports that Angel has done with the family. Obviously they are very, very upset, but that's all they want to know is they want justice for Chris. So.
Yeah, of course, number one goal usually whenever that happens. So hopefully that can happen. So again, if you do know something, 833-TIPS is the way to do it. Well, so to come this morning, we're going to be talking about the Museum of the Gulf Coast Family Fun Day that's coming up. So stay with us. Welcome into ARC Southeast Texas 10:15 this morning. We've got Dana Howard here to talk about the Museum of the Gulf Coast Family Fun Day. First of all, Museum of the Gulf Coast, such a great place to go visit, one of those gems in Southeast Texas. But tell us about Family Fun Day. What can we expect?
Well, Family Fun Day is something that we do at the museum every year. We do it 4 times a year, and our Halloween Family Fun Day is probably one of the biggest, most fun. At least that's the one I like planning the most because, I mean, who doesn't love spooky season? But it's a huge community event. We have free admission to the museum during that time, and we have lots of people handing out candy. You know, the city council is going to be there. The police are going to be there. Sometimes they bring a car if they have one available. And you know how kids always love to look at the cars.
Oh, yeah.
But we're going to have, this year, our sponsor is Chevron Phillips Chemical, and they're bringing a huge old fire truck from one of their, from their refinery.
Cool.
And we will get to see, the kids will get to explore that. And we'll also have the stable spirit horses. They do therapy for, all sorts of different reasons, and it's just equine therapy is amazing, and you really need to talk to them because it's great for everyone. And inside we'll have lots of other things. We have a special magic show. There'll be ice cream truck and things to take pictures, candy, all the sorts of fun Halloween stuff, and you get to see everything in the museum without having to pay admission.
Yeah, which is always a good part, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so backtrack a little bit. The museum itself, on any given day, what would you find there?
We have really everything. One of our billboards is the famous billboard on I-10 coming from Houston says from Jurassic to Joplin. So really we have just about everything. We've got the history of the area, you know, how the founding of Port Arthur, the first settlers. We also have natural history from the area, dinosaur fossils and, you know, Native American artifacts and things like that. But then you go up to our second floor, and that's what we call that the Hall of Fame floor. So that's everyone who's grown up in this area. You know, they were born here, they lived here, anywhere in the Gulf Coast region, and they went on to become quite successful in their respective fields: actors, politicians, musicians. We've even got a teacher. There's an astronaut who was from Beaumont. We have 200 people, more than 200 people in our halls of fame, and we kind of want it to be an inspiration for people, especially kids who come to the museum.
Yeah,
and I've seen that billboard before. Now that I think about it, I'm
it's
like,
on
okay,
I-10, right, coming from Houston. Yeah,
absolutely. And I mean, this is always kind of a fun event, stuff like this, because not only do you get to have a little fun, right, all the balloon animals and the food and everything like that, but it is a good learning opportunity too for folks who, you know, maybe live in the area, don't live in the area, to learn about, you know, what's at the Museum of the Gulf Coast.
Absolutely. It's one of the most common things I hear from people coming into the museum is, I've lived here all my life, but I've never been here. And we want to change that. We want we've been there since 1994. So we're not the hidden gem anymore. Everybody needs to come see us.
Absolutely. Okay. And so for the folks who do want to attend, number one, we already know it's free,
yes,
but it's going to be Saturday,
October 26th from 10 o'clock to 1 o'clock at the Museum of the Gulf Coast, which is at 700 Proctor Street in Port Arthur.
Perfect. All right. If you want to attend, be sure to go swing by, come and go as you please, check it all out. And I'm sure costumes are encouraged.
Oh, costumes definitely encouraged. Please dress up.
All right. There you go. Thank you for stopping by.
Thank you.
Should be fun. Still to come this morning, we've got this week's edition of How's It Growing with Greg Boswick. So stay with us.
Talk a little bit more about some of my favorite plants, and these plants are more of a spring or summertime plant, although you can do these in the fall until freeze. This is the classic vinca, which is really good for our area, especially for next spring and summer when it gets hot. You can grow these from seed. They're real easy to grow, and you can see the nice showy blooms they have. They just get covered with blooms, got different colors. You need to look at one variety though in particular. It's called Cora XDR Cora. And that's the one to grow because it's mainly disease resistant. It does a really good job of fighting off disease. So that's a good one. Now this is something you could plant right now as we head into fall. It will freeze to the ground in a severe freeze, but it'll come back. And that's a lantana. This is a newer variety of lantana. It really is showy, doesn't get real big. It's maybe 3 to 4 foot tall. Really good plant. It survives the heat and humidity of Southeast Texas very well. Again, use MicroLife. The product to use on that. It has all the different nutrition that the plants will need, and you can just pour it on there, mix it into the dirt at the top, water it in. It does a fantastic job. That's really the only fertilizer you really need to use on that particular plant. I talked about last week, I didn't have the product to show you, but the systemic insect control is really great. The fact that it does not really kill the insects that it hits, it's really a product that goes into the leaves. Systemic meaning that the poison goes into the plant itself. So when an insect bites it, be it a worm, whatever it may be, a sucking insect, it's going to die. So I like that because it's not going to kill a lot of the really beneficial bugs. It's only going to kill the ones that are eating your plants. So that's a good thing. And another one to use, this is more of a direct contact insecticide called Biofin. It is really good as far as knocking down any type of insect it may hit. You have to be careful though, because whatever it hits is probably going to kill. And you're going to measure this out and put it in a pump-up sprayer. That's how you're going to dispense that. So again, some of my favorite plants there, some of them more towards summertime for next year. But this one, again, the lantana, you can plant right now. Thank you for joining us.
It's about 10:26 this morning. Well, we are joined with Allison Kiker and Bobby Beaver here to talk about St. Anne's Catholic School's Halloween Carnival. We're talking all about all the things that are going on across Southeast Texas around this time of year, and it's festival season, carnival season. some of the most fun times, right? And
Absolutely.
of course, on Saturday, carnival time. You guys said it's
Yes.
been a busy week getting ready. I mean, what's going on there?
Great week, best week of the year. So we have our 46th annual Halloween Carnival
Mhm.
this Saturday on our campus from 11 to 4. Super excited about it. It's our
Yeah.
biggest community event of the year for us.
Yeah, 46 years. I mean, that's quite a long time. What keeps it going?
The community.
Yes, yeah, you
Whatever.
know, this is one of our biggest fundraisers of the year for the school, but it's really more than that because
Yeah.
it's the whole community comes out. It's
Yeah.
an event for the whole city and everybody around there, and we love having it. And you know, the event's been going on for 46 years. My kids look forward to it every year. I went to it whenever I was a student in 1988 and have pretty much been going ever since.
Yeah,
and
I
so-
did as well. I'm not going to give you the year, but I did as well.
You were there. You were
So
there.
it's really, that's a really special piece of it. It's multi-generational,
Yeah.
but it's also multiple communities. It's the bigger Beaumont community, but it is solely put on by the St. Anne community. Our parents, Bobby is a current parent, as well as our school board president and an alumni, all the things.
Do it all, yeah.
He does it all. But our parents really come out for this day and just run the carnival. It's just a beautiful day for our school.
And I mean, you guys both have gone in the past, obviously, getting ready for this year. Give me some of your favorite things that you see at the carnival every year.
Haunted house for sure for me.
Ooh.
The haunted house is great. I like the confetti eggs. I love
Confetti
seeing the kids
eggs,
running
silly
around with
string.
silly string confetti eggs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so what are some of the other things? I can kind of see some games going on here, pictures here.
Yes, we have a lot of inflatables, some are games, some are just, fun obstacle course, things like that. We have a haunted house that is put together solely by our parents and run by teenagers to get service hours. So that's another component of
Sure.
the day. What you're looking at right now is entertainment. So we have a costume contest
Cute.
that runs for, babies all the way up to our older kids. And then throughout the day is local entertainment, dance studios, karate studios,
Yeah.
just anything you could think of. It's really, to me, what I love a lot about it is that it's just a wholesome day.
Mhm.
All of the things that we used to do growing up,
Yeah.
nothing that's has anything to do with phones or iPads or electronics or anything like that.
Yeah, no, fun to kind of just get out and enjoy.
Yes.
Enjoy, of course, this time of year. So for folks who do want to attend, what do they need to know? Where, when, everything?
So it's on our campus, 375 North 11th. We're right across the street from St. Elizabeth Hospital. Entry is free. We just ask that you bring a canned good that we then turn around and donate to either some other place or Market to Hope.
Mhm.
And tickets are $1 a piece. They can do anything at the carnival
Yeah.
with tickets.
And I mean, tell me about, obviously, tickets are dark. And the good thing about this is it's going back to help the school, right? What is
Yes.
it? What is that money used for specifically?
So that money is used for multiple things on our campus. The first being tuition assistance. We
Sure.
back up a lot of scholarships and tuition assistance for all of our families with this money. Physical growth as well as growth in our programming. Like this year, we've added a sign language and theater elective. Some of that is funded
That's awesome, yeah.
by our carnival money, and then physical growth. Redoing of the plant, adding
Yeah.
on things like that.
Well, perfect. All right. So Saturday, if you are interested, be sure to go out and have some fun and get dressed up and partake in the costume contest.
Absolutely.
They were
Love
so
to
cute.
see everyone.
Oh,
Yeah.
love it. Well, thank you guys for stopping
Thank you
by.
for having
Yeah,
us.
Thank
of
you.
course. Still to come this morning, we'll take a look at Creekwood Farms and Vider. They got their fall festival taking place this weekend as well.
This segment is sponsored by Creekwood Farms.
Welcome back to ARC Southeast Texas. We are going to be talking about the Southeast Texas Fall Festival. I'm here with Sean Newell with Creekwood Farms. Before we get to the festival, let's talk a bit about you and the history of the farm.
Absolutely. So Creekwood Farm started in the mid-1980s, and I purchased it in 2020. We grow blueberries exclusively for HEB that we harvest in the months of April and May.
Good deal. Okay, so now switching gears to the Fall Festival. Tell us number one, let's start with the work that y'all are putting in to make this happen.
A lot. We're bringing in petting zoo, pony rides. We're setting up hay mazes and some unique activities that you don't typically see at a pumpkin patch.
And for some of our people, we were talking a bit of a hidden gem out here. People may not even know I'm from here, and I had no idea this was out here. Talk to us about, your previous efforts with the Blueberry Fest, that kind of thing.
Yeah, so in April, we had our first Blueberry Festival that went exceptionally well. We had over 5,000 people out here, and it was a 2-day event. And due to how that one went, we've extended this one to include Sunday as well. So it'll be 3 days, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
All right, good deal. What is one of your favorite parts about the festival?
Just getting the community out to see the farm. The number one comment that we get is that people have lived here their entire lives and they've never been here. So it's been a goal of mine since we took over ownership of the farm 4 years ago that we would get the community out so they could see the property that I fell in love with a few years ago.
Okay, so 113 acres. There's a lot to do here throughout the year besides just these festivals that you're putting on. Tell us a little bit about what you do here and what there is to do.
Yeah, so it takes about 4 to 6 people year round, working 6 to 7 days a week to keep up with the farm and keep the orchard maintained. We have currently about 22,000 blueberry bushes planted in our orchard, and we're growing that to double that size over the next year. So nobody leans on their shovel very long around here.
And I'm a plant lover. I kill a lot of plants, but a really interesting honor system that y'all have here. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so we have an honor system nursery. We grow roses, azaleas, of course, blueberries, a few different varieties, couple shrubs, mostly native plants that grow well in our acidic, sandy soils here. So yeah, it's honor system. People come up, pick up what they want and pay on the porch, and it's worked really well the last few years.
Okay, so if someone's wanting to head out to the Fall Festival, tell us what they need to know, where they need to park.
Yeah, so you'll come in off Highway 12. There'll be a long dirt road with parking attendants to help you get back. We've got a few different large parking areas to park in, and then we'll be having hay rides running to bring people up to the front gate.
All right, good deal. Okay, so there's going to be a lot to do. Remind us of those dates again.
So it's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the 25th through the 27th. Friday and Saturday will be 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., and Sunday will be from noon to 5.
Okay, there you have it, guys. We're going to have this information available on our website and our social media pages. Stay tuned for more ARC Southeast Texas after the break.
And we want to remind you that Creekwood Farms is hosting a contest. 4 lucky winners are each going to win a family 4-pack of tickets to the Southeast Texas Fall Festival at Creekwood Farms. Now, we've already given away 2 of those 4 packs, but there's still a chance for you to win. Go to kfdm.com or scan that QR code that you see on your screen there. Go to our contest page and be sure to enter. We have been announcing those winners on the morning show every morning. So go enter so you can have a chance to win. It seems like a lot of fun. Lots of blueberries, you said.
Yeah. So when we went out there the other day, the bad thing is I live in the area and I have never heard of this place, but they had the Blueberry Fest. I believe it was last year was their first time that they've done this. Mm-hmm. And that was a huge hit. Then they had this last year and they said it's just grown. And so while we were out there, we got some frozen blueberries that I dropped all in Jesus' vehicle, trying to take a picture of them, but they were good. And, they locally, they sell to HEB.
Oh, that's awesome.
Exclusively.
Yeah.
So it's really cool, that aspect of it. And then, they have so much to do. They have their honor system, their little plant sale honor system, which is neat. But the Fall Fest itself is going to be huge. He said, I can't remember if he said there was like 5,000 people last year. It was some crazy number.
Yeah. So go check
It's
it
going
out.
to be a really fun
Should
event.
be.
So it was a big deal last year, and I'm imagining it's going to be the same. But contest, everyone likes to win stuff. You can go to our website and 2 more.
There you go. All right. Well, still to come this morning, we're talking about another event happening this weekend, a big one, the Gift of Life Ribbon Run. So stay with us. $10:39 this morning. Well, we are joined by Ingrid Holmes. We're talking about the Gift of Life, their ribbon run that is happening this weekend on Saturday. And so excited because this is such a huge event, Ingrid. I mean, so many people show up because it's for such a good cause.
It is. It really is. I am so excited to share with the community information about the run. We usually have about 1,000 people that show up for our run, and we have so much going on. It's not just to come out and run. We have educational booths that are available. We'll have 27 this year.
Wow.
Yes. And we have the Celebration of Hope, where we acknowledge and recognize those survivors who have survived breast cancer and other gynecological cancers. We also have our angels that we recognize, those women in our community who have been impactful in our organization. We'll have a kiddie zone. A lot going on.
There's so much going on. And I was lucky enough, I went about 2 years ago, and I'll be there this Saturday too. But I always tell people just kind of, I guess, how magical it is whenever you go, because you talk about the survivors and you get to talk with so many folks who are battling and fighting breast cancer right now, and they're still so strong, and going to this walk and kind of, giving it their all, and I mean the fight of their life, right? But then also acknowledging the folks who have been are survivors and are just have been there and done that and are still just flourishing now, and just all the stuff that the Gift of Life does for these folks, because it is so much, not just this month, but really year round, that you guys are able to provide for them.
We do. Year round, we provide free mammogram screenings in our community in a 7-county service area, actually. And part of what we do at this event is to take the funds that we have and put it back into the community for educational outreach. And things of that sort. So we do. Year round, the Gift of Life is extremely busy providing educational outreach and preventive services.
Just a little extra busy this time of year.
That's right. Extra busy. It's October.
Right.
Yes.
So if somebody wants to get involved, tell us what they need to do.
Well, if they want to register and they are a survivor, they can come out Thursday or Friday between the hours of 9 and 6 at the Beaumont Civic Center. Registration for survivors of breast and gynecological cancers are absolutely of no charge to them. If they have family and friends that want to walk with them, they can create a team, and that cost for those who don't have cancer, $35.
Very nice.
Yes, or if they want to register before that, they can call the Gift of Life office.
Good deal. And we'll have that information available on our website. I know there's a lot to know, but we had, so my, what is that called? My sorority, Zeta Phi Alpha, our philanthropy is breast cancer awareness. And so I went out, it was in 2017, I was showing her a picture of, there's ribbons everywhere. There's tons of people everywhere. It's a huge deal. And so, we're super happy that you're here to talk to us about it, and that it makes such a difference here in Southeast Texas.
And we are you mentioned that, we're so appreciative of our volunteers.
Oh, yeah.
That without them, we could not make this happen. So we're very appreciative of the community. We may be the people behind it, but it's this community that makes it such a success.
Right. Any idea how much money y'all raised last year?
That's a good question. I am not certain what the dollar amount was, but we were able to diagnose 19. And of course, we have other funds that we get, so we can't attribute it just to this.
Right.
But we were able to, this year, we've already diagnosed 19 women with breast cancer.
Very good.
And so we take them through the process of once they're diagnosed, we take, or at least once their mammogram comes back abnormal, we take them through the process.
And I bet, it's really great to have that support system. And I feel like this is, this goes hand in hand with just about anything. It's just not something that you think about until you do it, and then you're able to catch it quickly,
Absolutely. The key and the reason we do the mammograms is early detection. Early detection really makes a difference if you have breast cancer.
Absolutely. And of course, the walk is on Saturday. You saw some of the time frames. And it is, of course, we call it a monster dash because costumes are encouraged.
Absolutely. We want people to come out and have fun, wear your fun costume, and come out and walk and make this a fun day.
Yeah, it is such a great event. Angel and I are going to be there helping MC, and the theme this year is Wizard of Oz. So we've got our costumes ready. We're so excited. Yeah, we'll be there on Saturday. But tell us a little bit about some of the stuff we got behind us. Of course, I see the shirt and all that good stuff.
Yes, this is not the shirt for this year, but you will be given a shirt if you participate and register for the run. And this is how sometimes our people will dress. You'll see them with tutus on and hats.
Pink, of course.
And pink, of course. Our bag of shirts, and you get a bag with your, thank you.
Look at Vanna White
Vanna,
over there. Thank you.
And you get a
there you go.
bag, a swag bag. And so we provide you with a lot. We give, and that swag bag will be full of candy because we'll have candy stations along the route, and it'll be full of information because we'll have so much information at the Wellness Village.
Absolutely. So be sure to not only do the walk, run if you want. I'm a walker here, but also check out the Wellness Village as well. So again, that's all on Saturday. There's so much going on, and again, good for the kids too because candy. I don't think you need to say too much more, right?
And face painting.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
There we go. And then there's also confetti. It's a whole thing. It's so much fun. So make sure that you do sign up. And again, we will post this information on our website, foxfortbeaumont.com, a little bit later on this morning. So that way you can sign up and make it easy. Still plenty of time. There's no limit on the space. So sign up.
Not at all. We want everybody to come out.
We'd love to see you there. Well, thank you so much, Ingrid. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
And I'll see you Saturday.
All
Not
right.
to worry.
Thank you.
Still to come, we got some more ARC Southeast Texas to bring you. All right, 10:48 this morning. Let's go ahead and take a look inside the newsroom and talk with KFDM's noon anchor, Patrina Adger.
Patrina, tell us what we can expect to see in your show today.
Voting, the numbers are in, and let me tell you, Southeast Texas is not only showing up, but they're showing out as well. Turnout is approaching 20,000 after the second day of early voting in Jefferson County. Jefferson County's clerk's office reports that 17,000 people voted in person. 2,000 of those were mail-in ballots, and we'll also tell you more about those numbers coming up at noon. Also, I know it's lunchtime right now, but did you hear about this E. coli outbreak at McDonald's? McDonald's believes the source of the contamination could be the slivered onions or the quarter pounder beef patties, both of which are off the menu. If you're wanting to go to McDonald's for a quarter pounder, you won't be able to get one here. But the big outbreak is not actually here in Texas, so that's good news. Also in my interview at noon, we're going to talk to the Symphony. They've got a concert coming up this weekend, and Chelsea Tipton, who was normally the conductor, he's got a guest conductor coming in to do that concert, so we'll talk to him. All of that coming up on the news at noon. Guys, back to you.
Awesome. That sounds like a lot of fun. And they're so good too.
Yeah, there's so much musical talent here in Southeast
Oh,
Texas.
it's crazy.
Yeah. I just never, back when I was reporting in Lake Charles, the music scene over there is huge.
Yeah.
But here it's big. So big too. So good deal.
There's always somebody playing somewhere.
Kevin Bacon.
Oh yeah, that's a big one.
Lone Star is coming in a couple weeks. So the lecture.
I saw that, which I want to go to that. I do like
that one song stuck in my head for days.
I'm amazed.
Yeah.
It'll be there forever now. Well, we are going to be talking about our question of the day coming up in just a little bit. We'll also have this week's Christ in the Classroom with Angel San Juan, so stay with us. Well, it is 10:53 this morning. Wow, I'm jumping way ahead or backwards. I don't know. Yeah. Ooh, well, I'm almost there. But 10:52 this morning. Students these days have a lot on their plates, no doubt. Thankfully, when it comes to the cafeteria food, improvements are on the menu. Angel San Juan explains in this week's Christ in the Classroom.
Breakfast and lunch at schools are becoming more than an option for students. They are now an essential part of their daily lives. Without the meals they get on campus, many boys and girls would not get the nutrition they need. Some don't get it at home. That's why the pressure is on child nutrition directors to get it right. And they've learned that the best school lunches to serve include the healthiest food you can find.
They're lower in sodium, lower in fat, lower in cholesterol. They're nutritionally balanced. And they're also provide for lunch 1/3 of your needs for students, for children. Breakfast provides 1/3, lunch provides 1/3. So that's 2/3 of your nutritional needs per day for students that they would receive if they ate school meals.
But taste is also key. School lunch programs have learned that meals served to children must be healthy, but also delicious, so they will eat the food. The Beaumont Independent School District has come up with a unique approach to make that possible.
Incorporated a chef into our department who is maximizing the cooking skills among our employees and teaching them how to cook healthy without having to add extra fat or frying, and helping to maximize the nutrition of those meals.
Beaumont and Port Arthur ISDs both offer free breakfast and lunch to all students, and more Texas districts are advocating that the state adopt universal free school meals, especially since, according to Feeding America, 1 in 8 Texas children don't get enough to eat.
And then this might be their only meal for the day. The 2 meals that they're getting at school will be the only thing they eat until they come back.
But providing our youth with healthy and appetizing school meals takes a village. That's why BISD recently took part in National School Lunch Week, inviting community members to try what students are eating. And also, students themselves have a say on what they'll be getting on the menu in the future.
We taste test our foods, and we involve students in there also to help rate them. They also can attend food shows that occur once a year in Beaumont area, and so they give their feedback on the foods that we are serving them.
In Beaumont, I'm Angel San Juan reporting.
In addition to School Lunch Week, during October, school districts in Texas also take part in the Farm Fresh Challenge, which highlights the food grown and produced by Texas farmers that's used in the meals school districts make for students. Now, if you have a situation in your school district you'd like us to look into, you can call our Crisis in the Classroom hotline, 409-223-7512, or email us your concern to crisis@kfdm.com. So, awesome program. And yeah, you want to make sure it's healthy, but still good. And speaking of food, perfect. This is such a good segue. On our KFDM Facebook page, we should act like we planned this. We asked you, what restaurants would you like to see in Southeast Texas? And my goodness,
you know,
we had a lot to say.
We always say like how many people show up for the question of the day when it comes to Southeast Texas football. But this one, the last time I looked, was over 700 comments. And they have some good stuff on here. White Castle, the waffle bun.
I would love White Castle.
Some of the stuff I've never heard of. Krispy Kreme, I know a lot of people.
You've heard of Krispy Kreme,
No,
right?
I've heard of that one. I've never heard of the waffle bun.
That's what you're saying. I don't know.
Something healthy, yeah. House of Pies.
Oh,
a Taco Cabana. That's one of my. So every time we go on vacation, when we're coming back from Houston, we go to Taco Cabana and we get lunch, even if it's like 10 a.m.
Do you like Taco Cabana? That's good. Ooh, Elise, our producer, Elise said Freddy's frozen custard. I want a Culver's. Have you ever had Culver's?
I've never heard of that.
Oh my gosh. Y'all need to try Culver's if you never had Culver's. It's like a Midwest, like Wisconsin thing, but it's so good. They have some in Houston. Someone said
Mr. Gaddy's, that's a big one in Southwest Louisiana. Yeah.
What else? Black Eyed Pea, that place is good. Fogo de Chao.
Or Cracker Barrel.
We do have a Cracker Barrel.
We do have a Cracker Barrel.
And we do have a Panera Bread too. These might not be.
These people need to get out.
Well, they might not.
Oh wait,
live.
I guess we said Southeast Texas.
Yeah. They might not live in the area that those places are located. So, but KFDM, what would be your number one? I don't know if I have one.
I don't know. Okay, so we are
with those Culvers.
I think it's Lumberton, maybe getting a Potbelly, which is just a sandwich place. I like sandwich options because sometimes I'm just tired of greasy fried food and I want a sandwich. But
yeah, that's a good idea. I like that. Okay, well, that does it for us this morning. We hope you have a wonderful Wednesday, and well, I'll see you back here tomorrow. Jay's going on vacation. Later, girl.
Later, girl.